unite, 'cause together we shall stand.
My people, make we all come out on election day and vote Olumide Osaigbavo Akpata, Una guy, as governor of Edo State. He ready to change our story and bring better life for we and our pikin them. Vote Labour Party, the party for Papa, Mama and Pikin. Make we vote well, oh, Oludi, confirm. Now you be our guy. Labour Party, forward ever.
Olumide Akpata.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, after months of speculation, reinstated Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu defects to the All Progressives Congress on a day party leaders converge on Benin City for the inauguration of the Governorship Election Campaign Council. Governor Godwin Obaseki predicts landslide victory for the PDP in Edo State in the September governorship election as he asks party members to prepare for the local government election. Members of the House of Representatives visit the Dangote refinery in Lagos. The president of the Aliko Dangote Group rejects allegations that petroleum products from his refinery are substandard. And Israel strikes Houthis in Yemen after drone hit Tel Aviv.
On business news, Nigeria's FX reserves rise to 16-month high as gross level reaches $35.93 billion.
On sports news, Rafael Nadal reaches his first final since winning the 2022 French Open after defeating Croatian qualifier Duce Adjukovic in a 3-set tussle at the Swedish Open.
To begin with politics in Edo State, reinstated Deputy Governor Mr. Philip Shaibu has moved from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the All Progressives Congress APC, along with some members of the PDP Legacy Coalition. Mr. Shaibu defected to the APC today during the ceremony to inaugurate the party's National Campaign Council in Benin City, the Edo State capital. In June 2020, he had defected from the APC to the PDP along with Governor Godwin Obaseki. There's also confidence in the camp of the People's Democratic Party PDP for a landslide victory at the September 21st Edo governorship election. The governor, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, expressed this optimism, adding that his administration has done enough to secure the seat in spite of the current issues which he described as distractions by the opposition. He was speaking at a leadership meeting of the party which held at the Government House Benin City, where he also announced a flag-off date for the local government campaigns ahead of the governorship election in Edo State.
I believe that from the work we have done to date, it will be a miracle if the next party gets up to 20% of the votes. So we are not afraid and we are not perturbed, not even with the antics to try and distract us with all sorts of pranks and tricks. I want to assure you that under my leadership, the next governor of Edo State will be a PDP governor. God has decreed it, because God always wins. We start our local government campaigns on about the 1st of September. Therefore, we felt that we should flag off those campaigns on the 29th of August, Thursday, 29th of August, and invite the whole national PDP, national and state PDP structure to Edo State to come and help us flag our campaign.
We'll have more details on our top story, which is the APC inauguration governorship election campaign council in Edo State. But staying with politics, the national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, Mr. Edozie Njoku, is calling on all aggrieved members to close ranks and join him in developing the party. Speaking at the palace of the traditional ruler of Ibeku community in Imo State, Mr. Njoku also asked party members to disregard rumors that he's against the second-term bid of Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State. According to him, he's more interested in the reconciliation of aggrieved party members and growing the party to become stronger.
Whether you're a national officer, whether you're a local government officer, whether you're a state officer, just know that your responsibility is that once you've taken that responsibility to do that, you've got to do it well. You've got to do it well. I don't need to emphasize so much. If what I'm saying has come out in a different way, please, whoever has been offended, please forgive me. But one thing is that we all in Africa have to work hard to make sure it works out for us. We must leave a bridge for us all as party members to reconcile. We cannot keep fighting. And those who are on the other side, today we've thrown an olive branch to you that we need to reconcile. All the elected officers under APGA, if we talk from two sides of our mouth, you will know how you got in there. You've got to wake up to reconciliation. You've got to wake up and know that Nigeria is a lawful society, and we must do everything lawfully. We have the mind and the heart that we will reconcile.
The PTLB Media Office has refuted allegations made by the presidential spokesman, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, linking the 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate to a planned protest. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Obiora Ifo, describes the allegations as wild, wicked and baseless, saying that the presidency is planning to use the planned protest to arrest Mr. Obi. According to him, the Labour Party is known for being a peaceful party, and it has, at several occasions, asked its supporters to follow peace at all times, as evident in the aftermath of the last general elections. To other issues now, the president has described an investment in the agricultural sector as a path for economic growth that will create jobs for many Nigerians. This was disclosed by the Vice President, Mr. Kashim Shettima, who represented him at the launch of the mega agricultural implements procured by Governor Maimala Buni's administration to boost agricultural activities in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital.
We agreed
Vice President Kashim Shettima, alongside his host governor, Maimala Buni of Yobe State, as well as the chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo, and Professor Babagana Zulum of Borno State, arrived the August 27th stadium in Damaturu, the state's capital, to launch the mega agricultural implements procured by the state government. The items to be launched include tractors, tilling machines, threshers, solar-powered irrigation pumps, planters, utility vehicles, motorcycles, assorted fertilizers, among others. Governor Buni welcomes the entourage as he expresses his gladness that farmers can now return to their farms following improved security in the state.
In spite of all the challenges Agriculture remains the major preoccupation of our people. With the improvement in security across the state, farmlands are now accessible to almost all the local government areas. This, therefore, has made agriculture the key sector for the post-insurgency recovery program. The government has adopted this strategic measure to revitalize the sector by convening of Agriculture Summit to chart a new course for improvement in productivity.
30 farmers from each of the 178 wards in the state would benefit from the empowerment, and Vice President Kashim Shettima urges them to make the most of the opportunity. He believes all tiers of government should invest massively in the sector because of the value it brings to food security as well as economic growth.
Yobe said agricultural empowerment program couldn't have come at a better time. There is no way we are going to achieve our grand goals as a government, whether at the state or national level, until we support and empower our farmers. We must ensure that they have the tools, resources, and knowledge to optimize their production capacity. By doing so, we are not only enhancing our agricultural output, but also contributing to our collective quest to ensure that every Nigerian is well fed and fully engaged in the economic life of our nation.
According to the state government, this strategy is one of the recommendations of the Yobe Agriculture Summit as the state continues to adopt strategic measures to revitalize the sector.
The House of Representatives Committee on Foreign Loans, Aid and Debt Management has commended the Kebbi state government for its infrastructure development efforts. The committee made this disclosure during its oversight visit to the Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport in Birin Kebbi, the state capital, ahead of his proposed takeover by the federal government.
Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Foreign Loans, Aids and Debt Management are inspecting the Sir Ahmadu Bello International Airport Birin Kebbi to assess the development of the facility ahead of the planned handover to the federal government. The second schedule of the 1999 Constitution domiciled all matters relating to the aviation sector in the federal government. President Bola Tinubu is asking the National Assembly to approve the reimbursement of over 15 billion naira to the Kebbi state government for the construction of the airport. Before going ahead with the approval, this House committee is carrying out due diligence on the facility.
We've been able to go around. This is part of our responsibility as lawmakers to carry oversight on federal government infrastructure, buildings and all that. And I must say that I'm impressed with what we've seen now, what is on ground in terms of the equipment and the physical structures. It's quite encouraging. We from the House are actually delighted to be here to see what is being done in Kebbi, and we hope that other governors will replicate this.
The committee also paid a courtesy visit to Governor Nasser Idris of Kebbi State at the Government House, Birin Kebbi.
How are you?
According to the state government, the present administration has committed 1 billion naira into the airport, which started full operation in February 2024, and the governor is delighted that the federal government is taking over the facility.
The federal government is taking over so many airports, not only our own. And we feel that if federal government take Sir Ahmadu Bello Airport, it will be a relief to us, and at the same time, we know federal government doesn't compromise the standard of the Air Force. When I came, I have to rally around also because I think I have also sink about over 1 billion naira in that airport. When I came, because there are so many things that the airport is lacking.
The governor hopes to use the money when reimbursed for the infrastructure development of the state.
In part two, after the break, we beam our searchlight on the nation's economy and how government policies introduced will be implemented in the second half of the year. That's in a moment. Join us again.
The Duchess International Hospital caters to every aspect of a family's health needs. A one-stop shop for maternity and child health services, emergency medicine and critical care, medical and surgical subspecialties, dental and eye care, and a range of other subspecialties and services, all available at a single location right here in the heart of Ikeja. And it really doesn't matter if you're paying out of pocket using your HMO or private insurance. We focus completely on providing that world-class affordable healthcare for all the family at all times.
After months of speculation, reinstated Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shuaibu defects to the All Progressives Congress on the day party leaders converge on Benin City for the inauguration of the Governorship Election Campaign Council. Governor Godwin Obaseki predicts landslide victory for the PDP in Edo State in the September governorship election as he asks party members to prepare for the local government election. Members of the House of Representatives visit the Dangote refinery in Lagos. The president of the Aliko Dangote Group rejects allegations that petroleum products from his refinery are substandard. And Israel strikes Houthis in Yemen after a drone hits Tel Aviv. The second half of 2024 is upon us. The economic situation experienced now are results of decisions made in the first half of the year and earlier. Government policies introduced and implemented in the second half will determine the 2025 outlook. Our business correspondent, Ini John Mekwa, shares some highlights of macroeconomic data in the first half and expectations for the second.
High cost of living marred the 2024 New Year celebration, a trend which started in May 2023 when President Bola Tinubu announced the removal of petrol subsidy and unification of foreign exchange rates. While these pronouncements have been applauded by international bodies, the consequences have been described as harsh on the people and the economy. Unfortunately, the trend persists through the first half of the year, with macroeconomic data capturing in some cases a worsening situation. For the Naira, it was tagged one of the worst performing globally in the first half after losing about 40% to close at 1,510 Naira for a dollar. The bright side for Nigeria was the capital market. The stock exchange market recorded a return of over 33%, driven by renewed investors' confidence. For the fixed income market, investors enjoyed yield as high as 27.33% on Treasury bills in March and 26.76% on bonds. This, however, means a ballooning debt for the federal government and a concern at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry's mid-year review and outlook.
The debt has increased. Our labor productivity and factor productivity has flatlined. In other words, we are borrowing more than we are increasing our productivity.
The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
With a surging inflation at 34.19%, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria continued its hawkish stance, and monetary policy rate was raised to 26.25% at its May meeting. This made it about 750 basis point increase in the first half.
This is not something that is a one-size-fits-all and you'll expect, to continue like this. To the extent that the right policies are used, and obviously, with the results we've seen, the right policies are being used, I believe that in the not-too-distant future, things will begin to moderate and interest rates will come down.
falling naira have meant bad for businesses. 5 multinationals have had to either divest or exit the country in the period.
A lot of the big IOCs, of course, are exiting Nigeria for their reasons, but they are not leaving Africa. In fact, let me put it that way. A lot of the IOCs are leaving the shallow and the land and going deep offshore in Nigeria, and also invest in other parts of Africa.
Attention then turns to the oil and gas sector, which remains the country's mainstay for revenue. At production hovered about 1.2 million barrels per day for the period, below the 1.5 million target. Crude availability was a topic towards the end of the first half, led by Dangote, as it promises PMS supply from August. Local refiners accuse international oil companies of jeopardizing their efforts towards energy security. The NUPRC has intervened by asking the guidelines are published.
With this guideline, it makes it clear. It makes it a willing seller, willing buyer scenario, and then also it makes it clear that both parties are free to deal with themselves. So it's not as if it's coming from the government equity; it's coming from the crude producers themselves. So yes, it will make supply of crude a lot easier.
There's never a pause in time or the running of the economy. So the second half of the year is already on, with high expectations from Nigerians, following the intervention by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission that international oil companies will publish the domestic crude supply obligation guidelines. And this may ensure crude supply to domestic refiners. There's also the newly agreed minimum wage of 70,000 naira. On the other side, there's 150-day import-free policy on grains. There's the reform withholding tax policy for small businesses, implementation of AFCFTA, as well as expected activities from the newly created Ministry of Livestock Development. Then, governments may also need to turn attention to the debt stock, which, according to the Debt Management Office, has a portfolio for the public debt over 121 trillion naira. A worrying fact, since for the first time in Nigeria, debt to GDP ratio has crossed the 50% level. People are still waiting also for the much-promised benefits of the economic reforms, which started with the President Bola Tinubu's administration. I'm Ini John Mekwa, reporting for Channels Television News.
Now let's return to our lead story, which is the defection of the reinstated Deputy Governor, Mr. Philip Shuaibu, from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, along with some members of the PDP Legacy Coalition. Our correspondent, Jessica Olobusere, has this report.
Dignitaries, including the governors of Ondo and Cross River, former and 7 state and federal lawmakers, National Working Committee members, as well as other leaders of the All Progressives Congress, are assembled in this event center in Benin City, the Edo State capital, for the inauguration of the National Governorship Campaign Council ahead of the September 21 governorship election in Edo State. Reinstated Deputy Governor of Edo State, Mr. Philip Shuaibu, arrives to a warm reception.
Please, let's go back to our seats.
His next gesture thrills the gathering.
Thank you.
Philip Shuaibu on his knee to recognize the presence of Comrade Adam Aliu Oshomole.
The national chairman of the APC enters the hall in company of other leaders of the party. As the meeting progresses, an invitation goes out.
Please, I'll be asked to invite His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shuaibu, to please come.
Mr. Shuaibu is thereafter given the floor.
On behalf of all of us in Legacy Coalition, we have come to join APC, our own. And I want to assure our national chairman and all the members of APC
Senator Shomole finds room to highlight concerns about the quality of governance in the state, as well as recent happenings.
I urge the Commissioner of Police to defend the integrity of his uniform. In your name, I invite the IG to consider the killing in broad daylight of one of his officers as a national assignment. Lastly, all the guys in license, in the name of the Vigilante Group, we call on the IG to disband them.
National chairman of the APC's confidence hope resides in the APC.
We are so happy because our incoming governor and the incoming deputy governor, they already produced a blueprint for the development of Edo State. They are not coming with MOU. They are coming with a blueprint. They are coming with a practical steps so that Edo State can be fully developed and Edo State can be connected to the center.
The National Campaign Council of the Edo governorship election is thereafter inaugurated with the Cross River State Governor as chairman, while the Governor of Ondo State heads committees. Jessica Olugusere, Channels Television News.
President of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has asked the House of Representatives to investigate the quality of diesel and petrol at filling stations across the country. He made the call when he received the leadership of the House, led by the Speaker, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, and his Deputy, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, at his refinery in Lagos today. Declaring the damage being done to vehicles and engines by substandard products, he also called on the federal lawmakers to investigate the quality of laboratories being used to test imported products and compare that with the one at the Dangote refinery.
In terms of quality, when we started, our quality was about 600 to 650 ppm. And the 600 to 650 ppm is one of the best in terms of quality, okay, at that time when we started. But as of today, we are 87 ppm. And I assure you, media, you can come again and take sample on Monday. By Monday, latest Tuesday will be at 50 ppm. By beginning of August, will be at 10 ppm. So in terms of quality, we are doing very, very well. Nobody can produce anything better than us. We don't believe in the test of people when they bring in ships, because those tests, people write fake things. And, even during COVID, people were writing fake COVID certificates. So, all the results, if they want real results, they should go to SGS or Cotecna. They will give them the real certificate. But the right thing to do for Nigerians is to go to the filling station. And we want anybody to go to any filling station and buy. We'll test for you free of charge. It takes us maximum of 5 to 10 minutes. We'll give you all the parameters. And our own parameters today, we want to announce to the Nigerians, it is extremely very good parameters. We've left that 600. We are not at 600 anymore.
You want to comment about the PMS, when the PMS will be outputed?
By the grace of God, PMS was supposed to be out by this July, but we had the fire incident. The incident that we have, actually disrupted us for a few days. But by latest 10th or 12th of August, PMS will be ready.
A plan to unbundle the operations of the Nigeria Railway Corporation seems to be underway, as a bill to this effect has already gone through the first reading in the House of Representatives. The chairman of the House Committee on Land Transportation, Blessing Onu, mentioned this during a facility tour of the corporation in Lagos and Ibadan to promote a more vibrant and efficient rail system in the country.
Members of the House Committee on Land Transportation arrived at the Nigerian Railway Corporation office in Lagos for a tour of the facility. The visit aims to familiarize them with the operations of the corporation and provide insight into their agreement with the Chinese corporation handling the railroad project. The first stop is the running shed, where locomotives are repaired or maintained. The presence of a female technician among several men catches the attention of the committee chairman.
I'm working in Mina before the transfer you call me. And you like the job? Yeah, very sweet. I hope it's not because your MD is here. No. I love it. If I do not love it, I can't stay about 20-something years now. I for don't run since. Because I love it. I will continue to do it until God say my time don't reach. Oh, bless you. Thank you.
They also place emphasis on the need for training and retraining.
I really want the management to encourage training. It's very important. Let's not wait on to order for anything before going for training. Training, constant training will really help the agency.
The next stop is the Operations Central Control Room, from where all the corporation's activities will be monitored nationwide once completed. The team moves to the terminal, starting from the ticketing session, through the waiting room, and on to the departure lounge, en route to the train station in Ibadan. Overall, it was an impressive ride for the team, but they have a question for the managing director.
MD, do you want to answer that when they think that the Chinese will hand over?
Like the track
100%.
Track operation have been handed over. On the central control, once it is switched on, you don't need to be switched off. So they are trying to get the appropriate power. They are working on the power supply, and they are also working on the red line. We are going to be running the red line on the national rail. And don't forget, our target was to run an hourly train, and we are still working on that. We are working on our costs because we don't want to make sure that the service is sustainable. And you can run the train once it's scheduled, but you have to have the resources to continue to run.
The leader of the delegation says that proposals are in place to unbundle the corporation.
That bill is a proposed bill to unbundle the Nigeria Railway Corporation to allow companies to come in, to allow public-private partnership, so that we allow people to come in and invest in the rail sector, private sectors to come in, invest in the rail sector, and that will enhance development.
With numerous developments ongoing in the rail sector, optimizing its operation in the country will undoubtedly have a significant impact on commerce through improved logistics, enhanced connectivity, and reduced burden on our road infrastructure. Chris Alems, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's FX reserves rises to 16-month high as gross level reaches $35.93 billion. That's on Business News. Join us again. Welcome back. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative has distributed 100 CNG conversion kits to members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Kaduna State as part of efforts to cushion the impact of fuel subsidy removal by the federal government. Speaking during the exercise, the Presidential CNG Program Execution Coordinator, Mr. Folari Uhuru, said that under the initiative, 250,000 petrol-powered vehicles will be converted to compressed natural gas annually, starting from 2025.
The federal government is moving across the country to promote the use of compressed natural gas as an alternative to premium motor spirit. The park-to-park conversation mobilization is moving around parks in Kaduna State to sensitize commercial drivers on the benefit of converting their vehicles to compressed natural gas. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative is a key component of the federal government's palliative measures to mitigate the effect of the fuel subsidy removal on the citizens through promoting use of CNG as a cleaner and more affordable alternative to petrol. 100 free CNG conversion kits are being distributed to the transport unions in Kaduna free of charge, in addition to free installation.
What we are trying to do here is every year, up until 2027, we want to convert a minimum of 250,000 cars on our road. And the NURTW is a big part of us making this possible. I would like to thank you all for your presence here. I would also like to state that these free kits we are giving out should please not be used for other purposes, like selling to private organizations and whatnot, because the idea is to be able to bring down the cost of transportation for the average user.
The high point of the rally is the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the conversion partners that will be positioned at various locations across Kaduna State, where commercial drivers can go and have their vehicles converted free of charge. The transport unions applaud the initiative.
If this thing works according to the plan, I'm telling you authoritatively that the cost of the transportation in Nigeria is going to be reduced.
While commending the federal government for the initiative, members of the road transport unions are hoping that it will go a long way to reducing the high cost of transportation, thereby cushioning the economic sufferings of Nigerians.
Security matters now. Governor Usman Ododo is urging the newly recruited hunters in Kogi State to ensure that they root out criminal elements. Governor Ododo stated this in Lokoja, the state capital, while flagging off the distribution of security items to 1,050 newly recruited hunters that have been trained to assist other security personnel. The governor asked them to work closely with security agencies in the fight against insecurity in the state.
Top government officials, heads of security agencies, security experts and lawmakers converged on the Lugard House to witness the flag-off of the distribution of security items to newly recruited vigilantes in Kogi State. Governor Usman Ododo arrives to the salute of vigilantes.
Thank you so much.
Government secure area for your safety. Please take good care of it.
The state government is reviewing the law establishing the State Vigilante Service to incorporate local hunters recently recruited across the 21 local government areas.
We have resolved not to be reacting to exploits of criminals, elements in the state, or to take the fight to their various enclaves. We will root them out wherever they are.
Bordered by 10 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, the state is prone to criminal elements. However, the police in Kogi State is synergizing with neighboring states to intensify collaboration in tackling interstate crime.
The importance of all these organizations working together cannot be overemphasized. Like you rightly know, most of the security agencies, most of us are strangers. But by the time we harmonize, we opt those who know the terrain and the topography of the area, our services will be more effective.
The exercise is coming on the heels of the abduction of some students of the Confluence University of Science and Technology, and the governor urges the new recruits to form a synergy with security agencies to tackle criminality in the state.
Our fight against terror
we must agree that battlefields have changed and technology has evolved. We are determined to fight at different levels and secure our land and people. Kogi will be a step ahead, enemies of peace in our land. It will interest you to know that the hunters have been level of intensive training and orientations to guide them in the tasks ahead. As a responsible government, it is our responsibility to protect the lives of the people charged, responsibilities of protecting our people.
The governor charges the new recruits to display professionalism in the discharge of their duties.
18 people have been killed by gunmen suspected to be bandits in Bacha community in Katsina-Ala local government area of Benue State. The bandits, who defied the curfew imposed by the Benue State government, invaded the community at about 11 p.m. on Friday and killed 18 villagers. Confirming the incident, the Benue State Police PPRO SP Sewuse Anene says investigations are ongoing and calm has returned to the area. The state governor, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, had imposed a curfew from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in Sankera axis following a violent protest that rocked Ukum local government area 2 weeks ago. The axis comprises of Katsina-Ala, Ukum and Logo, which has remained a flashpoint of criminality in the state. Staying with security matters, 2 commuters have been killed and 5 others kidnapped along a highway in Ondo State on Friday evening. Channels Television gathered that the driver of the commercial vehicle and a female passenger were shot dead at the scene. 5 other passengers, including a corps member, were taken away by the gunmen suspected to be bandits. However, 2 of the victims managed to escape with various degrees of injuries. One of the locals said that the fully loaded commercial vehicle was coming from Anambra State, heading to Ondo State when the gunmen attacked. The Ondo State Police Command has confirmed the incident and says a team of policemen have been deployed to the area to apprehend the kidnappers and rescue the victims. More security in Taraba State, where gunmen suspected to be bandits have ambushed and killed the chief of Chachangi, Alhaji Tanimu Kumbiya, and his son Yusuf. The incident happened when the traditional ruler and his son were returning from a funeral service in Takum. A press statement issued by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Digital Communication, Mr. Emmanuel Bello, says the Governor received the news with deep sadness and describes the incident as tragic. According to the statement, the Governor has ordered security agents to immediately investigate the incident and go after the perpetrators of the heinous crime. He also called for calm from the residents and said that he would leave no stone unturned to fetch out the criminals and bring them to justice in the shortest possible time. Meanwhile, in Borno State, the police anti-bomb squad has deactivated an improvised explosive device planted near a primary healthcare center in the Maiduguri metropolis. The IED was discovered by residents around the General Hospital along Baga Road at about 12 midnight. The source of the bomb is yet to be established. About a week ago, another IED was found planted at a primary school also on Baga Road. This is coming a month after multiple explosions killed 36 people in Goza town, and a day after the military raised the alarm on the increased use of IED by Boko Haram terrorists to cause havoc. As part of efforts to tighten security around jetties in the Niger Delta region, the Joint Task Force South-South Operation Delta Safe has been enlightening operators and conducting a non-kinetic show of force. The military exercise, which kicked off on Friday in jetties around the Port Harcourt metropolis, is led by the JTF Commander South-South Operation Delta Safe, Rear Admiral John Okeke. Our correspondent, Deborah Agbalama, has this report.
In what seems like a non-kinetic show of force, Commander JTF South-South Operation Delta Safe, Rear Admiral John Okeke, leads his squad to some jetties. They march to the various jetty yards, both private and government-owned, as Rear Admiral KK re-echoes the warning to operators about the dangers of involving in illegal oil transportation, informing them that his troops would soon commence field sanitization and would not spare those aiding the transportation of illegal refined products.
Any place I find one drop of illegal product, I'm going to remove it. I have the mandate of president. If I find one product here, I will remove the unit. So don't say, I did not want you people. Please, man, tell your station manager, let us do the right thing. The right thing is peddling on legal refined products, not illegal refined products. The dangers are so much. Because when I come here next time, this is not the way I will come. So don't say I'm not warning you guys. I'm here to warn. Please, chairman, talk to your group.
Government wants us to stop the illegal business. And at the same time, Oga has given us the message. So I will pass the same message to the Village Kingdom to let people know that the people are here, that they should know that there is a problem now, that they should stop this illegal country.
Briefing journalists afterwards, Rear Admiral KK establishes the fact that not all jetties are involved in the illegal act, as he discloses that troops will not hesitate to clamp down on any jetty caught aiding the peddling of crude or refined products after the sensitization tour.
I continue today to be in this jetty, Abonima jetty, to further sensitize the people operating in this jetty for the need for them to uphold activity that could impinge on our oil sector. We need to reach out to people to sensitize them and to warn them that the federal government have given us marching order to ensure that such activity cease forthwith.
On Thursday, the Commander JTF South-South performed a similar sensitization exercise in communities where illegal refining of crude takes place in Rivers and Abia states. These actions are in line with a new directive by President Tinubu through the Chief of Defense Staff to service chiefs to apply a more stringent approach to eradicate the activities of illegal oil refiners and increase the output of oil production. Deborah Awalama, Channels Television News.
The Anambra state government is setting an ambitious target to revitalize palm and coconut production at an industrial scale, attributing it to being part of the commodities that contributed to the transformation of the old eastern region. Flagging off the 2024 planting of the seedlings in Onitsha, Professor Chukwuma Soludo disclosed that with the planting of over 1 million seedlings yearly, the historic revolution will create massive wealth base, encourage green and economic sustainable economy in Anambra State.
The atmosphere is charged at the Godwin Achebe Stadium, Fege, Onitsha, Anambra State, as men, women, youth, and various groups from the 21 local government areas of the state express excitement upon the arrival of Governor Chukwuma Soludo for the flag-off of the planting of coconut and all palm across the 179 communities in the state. For the State Commissioner for Agriculture, it is the dawn of regenerative agriculture in the states.
My people, the Anambra Nigerians, we are here today to lay out a very profound strategic agenda of Mr. Governor. But indeed, this program has consequences for every aspect of our lives.
A short playlet from students of the Department of Forestry and Wildlife at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, titled The Guardian of the Tropics, drives home the essence of the program.
Do you know coconut, Cocos nucifera? That is the botanical name.
A representative of the Ministry of Agriculture gives assurances of the ministry's support to ensure optimum productivity.
Let me inform you happily that about 2,580 farmers have been selected in Anambra State to benefit in the ongoing wet season. Having said this, I thank you, and I wish to assure you that the federal government, through my ministry, will continue to collaborate with you because you are doing very, very well.
Mounting the podium alongside his deputy to flag off the exercise, Governor Soludo says planting 1 million seedlings of palm and coconut every year in the state is the beginning of the creation of sustainable wealth.
One of the silver bullets we must reinventing our past, is for us to enlarge the big tent by empowering over 1 million households over a period of time by planting at least 10 million seedlings, economic trees, palm oil palm seedlings, coconut seedlings, just 10 seedlings for a poor household. That household will be permanently out of poverty for life. Let the revolution continue. A green state, the greenest state.
Governor Soludo believes that in addition to creating wealth and empowering several households, the state hopes to become one of the greenest and cleanest, with several lands reclaimed from the destruction of erosion and landslide.
Time to find out what's happening in the world of business. Willie Bong has details.
Thank you, Melinda. Now, this week, Nigeria's FX reserves has recorded another increase, hitting its highest level in 16 months. According to CBN data, gross reserves increased by $557.7 million to $35.93 billion as of July the 18th. This rise is attributed to the disbursement of $750 million, which is the first tranche of the development policy financing from the World Bank. In the meantime, the CBN says foreign currencies worth $106.5 million were sold to authorized dealers on Thursday and Friday. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, has been highlighting the efforts of the federal government in turning the country's economy around. The Minister of Finance was a guest speaker at an anniversary lecture organized by the Loyola College Old Boys Association, says the government has made significant strides across sectors.
We had an economy that had been stagnating for years. High inflation, particularly driven by ways and means spending, by printing of money. That was the situation. And what has been done in terms of the fiscal side, on the fiscal side, the revenue that belongs to the people of Nigeria, using technology, using a reconfiguration, and as well as moral suasion, careful monitoring, has been taken back. The flows of revenue that were going elsewhere have been taken back and are now flowing into the coffers of the government on behalf of the people of Nigeria. There is a food emergency declared. There is support for farmers. One of the biggest interventions and the first interventions was to support farming, increasing output, increasing the acreage under cultivation, maize, rice, cassava, and wheat. The foreign exchange market, you all know what it was. It was opaque and filled with malpractice. Yes, there has been a appreciation of the dollar against the naira, but at the same time, a willing buyer, willing seller methodology has been put in place, which is allowing business to flow. The price is elevated for now, but when you have a market-based mechanism, it can move up and down depending on the strength of dollar flows, foreign investment, and success in the economy.
And that's it on business news. It's back to Melinda for the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Will. President Bola Tinubu has arrived at Accra, Ghana for the 6th mid-year coordination meeting of the African Union, the regional economic communities, and the regional mechanisms, as well as the African Union member states. President Tinubu, who is attending in his capacity as the chairman of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, was received by a delegation led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga. The president is billed to address the meeting on the status of regional integration across various areas in Africa, highlighting the achievements and challenges encountered in West Africa since the last meeting in Nairobi, Kenya. And at least 11 people have died and more than 30 missing after a highway bridge partially collapsed during torrential rains in northwest China. The dead people were recovered from 5 cars pulled out of a river in the city. The bridge collapse is being attributed to flash floods caused by rain. And let's cross over to Abuja studios, where Terry Kumi is standing by with the latest from the world of sports.
Well, thank you very much, Melinda. Sports news now. For the first time in more than 2 years, Rafael Nadal has that final feeling. The Spaniard rallied from a set and a breakdown to overhaul Duji Djokovic 4-6, 6-3, 6-4 at the Nordia Open in Sweden and reach his first tour-level championship match since 2022 French Open. Having overcome Mariano Navoni in a 4-hour marathon, Nadal needed time to loosen up in his maiden clash against Croatian qualifier Djokovic. Yet he raised his level in no time to recover after dropping serve in the opening game of the second set, going on to break his opponent's serve 5 times across the second and third sets, en route to a 2-hour, 13-minute semi-final triumph. Meanwhile, Matteo Berrettini has booked his spot in the championship match for a 3rd time at the ATP 250 Swiss Open by beating top seed Stefano Tsitsipas 7-6, 7-5 in a semi-final of fine margins. Berrettini held his nerve in a tense first set tiebreak before clinching the only break of serve of the match in the 12th game of the second set to earn a 1-hour, 43-minute victory in Gastad. The 28-year-old Italian will take on Frenchman Quentin Halys in Sunday's championship match as he looks to add a 2nd crown to the one he won in 2018. The International Olympic Committee has said that the stage is set for Paris 2024, but the organizing committee remains vigilant 6 days before the games start. More than 45,000 police will secure the Paris Olympics opening ceremony on July the 26th, with over 100 heads of state and government set to attend. Athletes and performers will sail past some of the French capital's most stunning landmarks, but with 300,000 spectators expected to watch, it is also a major security headache, especially at a time of war in Gaza and Ukraine. On sports news, back to you, Melinda.
Many thanks, Terry. And the main news again. After months of speculation, today reinstated Edo's Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu defected to the All Progressives Congress on the day party leaders converged on Benin City for the inauguration of the governorship election campaign council. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami. On behalf of the team, good night. Watching Channels Television broadcasting live from Lagos. Let's now